It's that time of the week and we're back to give you all that's happening inside the corporates and startup world. You're watching Companynama. I'm Shrestha Tiwari. Over to a quick recap of this week's corporate world updates. Vedanta Limited is in talks with the US-based Farallon Capital Management to raise at least $1 billion. As per a Bloomberg report, the fundraising structure hasn't been finalized yet and discussions are underway. If the proposal sails through, it will lessen the need to raise money through a syndicated loan, the report had said. Last year, Vedanta topped the chart for the stock with the highest dividend yield in India. The company has held talks with banks like Barclays, JP Morgan, Chase and Standard Chartered for a syndicated dollar-denominated loan. Talking about Vedanta, the Vedanta Foxconn Semiconductor Consortium's talks with the ST Microelectronics have got stuck. The talks have been stalled due to the lack of agreement on details of technology transfer, the duration of their partnership and the funds to be invested. Shapoorji Pallonji Group, controlled by the billionaire Shapoor Mistry, is weighing asset sales, including a controlling stake in its flagship engineering firm that could raise about $2 billion. The company is working with an advisor to seek buyer for its holdings in Afcons Infrastructure, which is a Mumbai-based infrastructure construction company. As per reports, SP Group is also looking to sell some ports. Gopalpur Port on the east coast of India could be among assets that SP Group is looking to sell. Although, as per sources on reports, considerations are at an early stage and SP Group can decide to keep the assets for a longer period of time. Reliance Industries backed Reliance Consumer Products is all set to compete with dairy brands like Amul and Mother Dairy by venturing into the ice cream and dairy market. As per a report by Business Standard, the company is looking to and planning to launch ice cream products under its brand Independence starting from Gujarat and may also enter into a contract with a manufacturer in the state. The company is in advanced talks with leading Chennai-based Bovonto soft drinks maker Kali Aerated Water Works for a manufacturing and distribution partnership for the Campa soft drinks range. Reliance had held discussions to acquire a majority stake in Kali Aerated Water Works before it bought Campa in August 2022. And RIL is planning an infrastructure investment trust InvIT to monetize its warehousing assets. According to a report in the Economic Times, Reliance Retail has already set up the base for the proposed InvIT. In more news on RIL, Jio Platforms has bagged a 350 crore rupees contract to manage and enhance the cloud services of the government's National Informatics Center. The Reliance Industries Group firm has been selected to enhance NIC National Cloud Services and will be deployed at the National Data Center in Delhi, Pune and Bhubaneswar. In the biggest private equity deal in the healthcare sector in India, Temasek Holdings, Singapore government's investment arm, has acquired an additional 41% stake in Manipal Health Enterprises for an enterprise value of 40,000 crore rupees. The deal was executed through Temasek-owned Shares Healthcare, the group's Indian arm. Following the acquisition, Shares Healthcare India holds 59% from the earlier 18%. As per sources, the stake has been bought from promoters and other investors such as TPG Capital Management and National Infrastructure Investment Fund. And moving on, since we were talking about corporates, let's find out in our special segment about which were those companies that were on the radar this week. Debt-ridden Reliance Capital's lenders have fixed April 26th as the latest date for the second round of auction, which was earlier scheduled to be held on April 11th. The bidders who will participate in the second round of auction are Hinduja Group's IndusInd International Holdings, Singapore-based Oaktree and Torrent Investment. The Hinduja Group company submitted the bid post-auction date in the first round of auction, after which Torrent Investment contested its post-auction bidding in the Supreme Court since it was the highest bidder. Meanwhile, the administrator has also moved the NCLT, seeking an extension of the deadline to complete the resolution process to May 30th. Power Finance Corporation and REC's joint bid to buy the stressed Lanco Amarkantak Power has run into likely regulatory hurdles after the Department of Investment and Public Asset Management, or DIPAM, questioned the transaction structure the two state-run companies want to use to complete the deal. The PFC-REC duo had outbid the Adani Group and Reliance Industries in the race to buy the distressed power plant. DIPAM, which is in charge of the state-invested assets, is not comfortable with PFC and REC acquiring the power project through a joint venture company they created last year specifically for the purpose of acquiring stressed power plants. And while mutual funds have mostly trimmed their stakes in the Adani Group of companies, Life Insurance Corporation of India has raised its stake in the group's 4 companies in the March quarter. This was the 7th straight quarter when the insurer bought additional stake in the Adani Group firm. The insurer has raised its stakes in Adani Green Energy, Adani Total Gas, Adani Enterprises and Adani Transmission in the March quarter, while it trimmed its stakes in Ambuja Cements and Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone. The March quarter was marked by heavy selling in Adani Group of shares, which was backed on the Hindenburg Research report. 2 Uttar Pradesh power distribution companies have cancelled the bids of Adani and GMR group companies to supply smart meters under the state's 25,000 crore rupees roadmap. The distribution companies include Dakshinanchal Vidyut Vitran Nigam and Purvanchal Vidyut Vitran Nigam, who have cancelled the tenders without citing any reasons. Adani and GMR group companies were the lowest bidders, with offers worth about 7,000 crore rupees and 9,000 crore rupees for the respective tenders. Adani and GMR group firms are not smart meter manufacturers themselves. Adani Group was the lowest bidder for the supply of about 7.5 million smart meters. The Discom's bid was of 5,400 crore rupees. Well, those were all the updates from the corporate world. Moving on to the stories from the startup world this week. The Alliance of Digital India Foundation, a group representing Indian startups such as MapMy India, Truly Madly, Paytm, Matrimony, has filed a case in the Delhi High Court against the Competition Commission of India and Google. The group alleged that the antitrust regulator's inaction on the tech company's user choice billing system has resulted in Google engaging in antitrust conduct. A separate bench of the court will hear the matter next week. In its petition filed with the Delhi High Court, ADIF has alleged that the CCI has failed to take action on the multiple applications made by the industry grouping. Decacorn fintech firm PhonePe has received an additional $100 million from General Atlantic during its ongoing fundraise round of $1 billion at a pre-money valuation of $12 billion. With this funding, the Walmart Group firm has raised $750 million till date. General Atlantic has invested $450 million in the ongoing fundraise. Ribbit Capital, Tiger Global and TVS Capital funds invested $100 million, and Walmart has infused $200 million in the company. PhonePe plans to deploy these funds to build and scale new businesses like insurance, wealth management, lending, stockbroking, and ONDC-based shopping and account aggregators. Byju's lenders have sought up to $200 million, about 1,600 crore rupees, in prepayment along with a higher rate of interest from the Bengaluru headquartered company as a precondition to restructure its $1.2 billion term loan B, which is currently under review, said people with the direct knowledge of the matter. While Byju's has volunteered to raise the interest rate by about 200 basis points, it is yet to agree upon the prepayment clause put forth by the lenders, which include a number of US-based hedge funds, said the people. Well, that was all on Companynama this week. See you again next Saturday with more from the corporate and startup world. And while you carry on with your weekend plans, don't forget to tune in to Money9.